grisly cutting of a fetus from a woman began with a Craigslist ad about baby clothes for sale. Michelle Wilkins, a 26-year-old woman who was 7 months pregnant, arrived at the seller's home just before noon Wednesday in Longmont, Colorado. Michelle sent a text message to the seller to inform of her arrival. The seller, who was later identified as Dynell Lane, a 34-year-old former nurse aide, welcomed Michelle into her home to proceed what at the time seemed to be a simple transaction. This is where Dynell and Michelle's accounts diverge in some key details. Here's the Dynell Lane version of the account. Lane said she and Wilkins talked for more than an hour before she offered to give Wilkins a baby bath because she had received 2. According to Lane, Wilkins declined the offer and tried to stab her. During the interview with police, Lane claimed she was the victim. When detectives asked her why Wilkins wanted to hurt her, Lane answered, "She just kept looking at me and staring at me. Everything just seemed mixed up. I was walking up the stairs and I just remember a scuffle, like she pushed my head. She pushed my head and like I didn't hit my head. It was just completely like, I don't know, I'm trying to make sense of it all. It was a struggle, a big struggle, and I was yelling and I was trying to get my neighbors to maybe hear me. And I was trying to grab her phone, but I think she had a lock on it. I'm not sure, but I was like, I need to call 911, and I strangled her because she wouldn't stop." When asked why she cut the fetus out of the womb, she answered, "When she stopped moving, I just started thinking I didn't want the baby to die too. So I got the knife that she had and tried to cut the baby out." Towards the end of the questioning, Lane is heard crying harder when she's asked what she did with the baby and claiming she tried to save it. On the other hand, here's the Michelle Wilkins version of the account. Wilkins told the prosecutors that she went to Lane's home after contacting her about a Craigslist listing for sales of maternity clothes. Wilkins was about to leave after an hour-long conversation, but Lane convinced her to look at some baby clothes she had in the basement. Lane hit her over her head and attacked her as they were heading towards the basement, and the attack endured for nearly 10 minutes. During the attack, Wilkins told Lane that she loved her. She said she believed that might get Lane to stop the attack, but instead she responded by saying, "If you love me, you let me do this." When Wilkins awoke sometime later, she immediately noticed a really big cut across her stomach. She tried to stand up but immediately fell down. She had already lost too much blood and was in a severely weakened state. Wilkins described the moment saying, "I just felt blood seeping through my pants and I could feel my intestines outside of my body." Wilkins somehow managed to call 911, where an operator kept her on the phone and urged her to hold a towel to her stomach in hopes of stopping the blood that was pouring out of her body. Here's a short segment of the actual conversation between Wilkins and the 911 operator.
Longmont 911, address of your emergency?
1620 Green Place.
1620 what?
Green Place.
I can't understand the street.
Green Place.
Green Place. Green like the color?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what happened.
She cut me.
Who cut you?
Downstairs. I don't know.
Okay, hold on.
I responded to.
Hang on. Hold on.
Please. I'm downstairs.
Okay, who cut you?
This girl I responded to was trying to look at.
What did she cut you with?
A knife. I'm pregnant. She cut me in my stomach.
Okay.
I'm afraid.
She cut you in your stomach?
I'm pregnant.
Okay.
Please don't.
What is the suspect's name?
I don't remember.
Hang on, okay? I'm going to just... She is.
I'm bleeding out.
I know you need to stay on the phone with me, okay? I'm getting everybody to you, okay?
And then my sister I'm bleeding.
I know. You stay with me, okay? I got everybody coming to help you. You stay on the phone. Don't hang up. 2102, 2121 to 1620 Green Place, 1620 Green Place for a stabbing. That page, Lincoln 13, 1443. Can you grab a towel or anything you can get in your hands and put it on your wound and press? How far along are you?
7 months.
7 months? Okay. Are you alone in the house?
I don't know.
You stay with me. Don't go to sleep. You stay with me. You're downstairs in the basement.
Wilkins was eventually taken to the hospital by the paramedics, still conscious and fighting for her life. Later testimonies revealed that Lane had been claiming to be pregnant for around 14 months at the time, presumably carrying the child of then boyfriend David Ridley. Ridley testified in court that Lane's due date kept shifting and she refused to see a doctor with him. Ridley said Lane told him in April 2014 she was expecting a boy. But when 10 months passed and she hadn't given birth, he told her he needed answers from a doctor about the baby or he would leave her. He had planned to meet her for a prenatal appointment the day of the attack. But when he came to pick her up, she told him she had delivered the baby at home. He said he found the baby in a bathtub. Ridley wrapped the baby in a towel and was apparently unaware that the real mother was still bleeding inside the house. He drove the baby and Lane to the emergency room of Longmont United Hospital. Wilkins was later taken to the same hospital where Lane was admitted. There, the police put the two and two together and were able to apprehend the suspect. At the hospital, Wilkins had a chance to hold her baby girl, who she named Aurora. She and her partner Dan spent a few unforgettable moments as a family for the first and last time. In an interview with Dr. Phil, Michelle Wilkins said, "Dan and I thought she was the most beautiful thing we had ever seen. And I was just so grateful to have her, even for her short and small life. I think she was perfect." In court, Diane Lane faced 6 charges against her, including criminal attempt to commit first-degree murder, 2 counts of assaults in the first degree, unlawful termination of pregnancy in the first degree. She was found guilty of all 6 charges. District Attorney Stan Garnett said he could not charge Lane with murder because a coroner found no evidence the fetus lived outside the womb. Michelle Wilkins, who has displayed remarkable compassion throughout the process, was in the courtroom on the day of the verdict. When the verdict was announced, she said, "It was a really vulnerable moment where I felt relief and triumph that justice was served, that Aurora was acknowledged in spirit, that the hardship she went through, the hardship that I went through, was seen and acknowledged. My thoughts definitely went to her in that moment, to everything that my family endured." In an interview 1 year after the attack, Wilkins says she had forgiven Lane and doesn't want anything from her, but she also knows she may never learn why Lane attacked her.